Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vassell. Welcome to Week in Review. This is what we do here at the Dice Tower each week, where we give you kind of a summary of all the videos we did in the week before, and then you can go watch the full video if you're interested in it by clicking the links in the description. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, I'm Garcia. Here's what I did this week. I did a video talking about Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings set, Tales of Middle-earth, whatever that one's called, and we discussed all sorts of things, the way that the game is being delivered, or this set is being delivered with commander decks, a learn to play kit, jumpstart, all of that stuff, and what we thought of the mechanisms and the set itself, the flavor. Check that video out. And then I reviewed Chomp, which I gave a 7 out of 10 to. This is a tile-laying game in which, kind of like in Point Salad, you are taking some tiles and placing them out in front of you to build a grid, or flipping it over and taking a scoring opportunity on the back. My main beef with this one was that it had some visual clarity issues. I thought it was very hard to discern all of the scoring opportunities and what's being canceled by what, and the whole thing looked a little too busy for me. I reviewed Sail, which I gave a 7.5 to. This is a two-player only trick-taking game, cooperative trick-taking game, which is very clever. And it has an interesting, it's just an interesting sort of mind melding going on in which you need to figure out what you should play, when you should play it. It's got a nice amount of mechanisms at play here. I think some of the color choices leave something to be desired, unfortunately, in this game. But overall, I enjoyed it, and I think while I think it's sort of a trick-taking game for connoisseurs of trick-taking, and that's where it's going to shine, people who want a weird, quirky trick-taking game, it is one I would recommend if you are interested in something like that. It's very, very well done, except, like I said, for some color issues. And then lastly, I reviewed Everdell Farshore, which I gave a 9 out of 10 to. Lovely game. My biggest knock against it is the fact that it's very close to Everdell. It's mostly Everdell with a few updates, a few tweaks, streamlining the game, simplifying some things, and making it, in my opinion, a better entry point into this universe, actually. So if you have neither, I would actually recommend this one. If you have Everdell, I have a solid no recommend against it because it's too similar and it is quite pricey. So you kind of have to decide that one on your own. If you do want both, you know, it's got to be, you have to sort of justify that to yourself because they are so similar. But in a bubble, I thought it was beautiful. It's a wonderful game, very engaging, very well done. And that's it for me. I'll see you on the next one.
Hi, I'm Wendy Yee, and this week I have 3 games for you that I got to review. So the first one was Silicon Valley, and this one I was excited about because it had polyominoes, but I only gave it a 6 because the economic and the polyominoes and all that seemed really great, but then the actual way that you put them out and the items that you got or the things you produced, the way that that scored and the way that it grew your money, just it wasn't that interesting, and I didn't enjoy the interaction with that. So it was a 6. It was fine, but I'm not going to keep coming back to it. The next one is Sushi Go Spin Some for Dim Sum. Yeah. I gave that one a 7.5. I thought it was really cute. It's a kid's game, and so I had to look at it from that perspective. But my daughter absolutely loved it, and it's Sushi Go style. You're making connections, and it's nowhere near as good as Sushi Go, but I still enjoyed it. It's got this little squishy dim sum, and you're just basically moving around this little rotating tray to different players. And so, yeah, I enjoyed it. Little collection, a little stuff going on, quick, simple, cute. The last one is Sail. This is one of the All Play's little small box games, and I also gave it a 7.5. I thought it was a fun trick-taking game. So it's a 2-player cooperative trick-taking game where you only have a tiny bit of information each round. And I think that amount of information is just the right amount. So you're just literally swapping a card with the other player. And you've got some player powers and stuff. You're trying to move to the other side of the board. But I really enjoyed it. I think it's cute. It's fun. So there you go. That's what I reviewed this week. Let's go ahead and see who's next. And it's definitely not Chris time.
Hey everybody, I'm Joey Evans, and here's what I reviewed this.
Happy birthday!
Yeah.
How old are you? 107? Here we go!
Is that why your back hurts so much because you're so old?
And I thought they forgot.
What's going on? Okay, we'll get back to work. Sorry. We don't celebrate birthdays here!
Oh my goodness, that scared me to death.
lawsuit.
Okay, so okay, there we go, breaking everything. Fine. I'm Joey Evans, and here's what I reviewed this week. First off, I reviewed Robot Quest Arena, really fun, not a programming game, but a game about robots, and you're attacking each other, trying to kill each other, very fun. Love the minis, love the art, love the game. Gave it an 8. I probably could have went higher on that. It's a really fun game. Also, the new Everdell style game Farshore. I played that and I really enjoyed that as well. I think I enjoyed it more than Everdell for me. So I gave that an 8.5. Really enjoyed that game. And those are 2 games I reviewed this week.
Roy Kennedy here for another week in review. This week I took a look at Robot Quest Arena. This is a deck building game where you're moving around these chunky plastic robots trying to battle out your opponents. You get points for each time you damage your opposing robots, but when you die, it's not that big of a deal. This is a lot of fun. It's a very light game. I played it with my kids and my girlfriend, and it was a blast to play. I basically really enjoyed it. It's super simple, so I don't know how much I'd play it like with a game group setting, but playing with kids was really fun. So yeah, that was an 8.5 for me. And then also we took a look at Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth. I went to the pre-release for this for Magic the Gathering. I had a lot of fun playing in that. I really enjoy the mechanics of the cards. I have like a love-hate relationship with Magic the Gathering. Basically, I got rid of all my Magic cards to start doing my board gaming journey, but I think this set is fun to play casually. This is a set that I've wanted to play with friends here and there. I kind of want to build a cube for it. So hey, if you want to play casual Magic the Gathering, check out Lord of the Rings, not Journeys of Middle-earth, I keep saying that, Tales of Middle-earth. Kind of confusing the name, but yeah, it's a lot of fun, and check that out. And if you want to play with that at the retreat, maybe I'll have a cube by then, maybe if I had enough pennies. Anyway, let's get to the next person.
It's Chris time. This week, folks, I took a look at 4 games. The first was Silicon Valley. I gave a 6. This is a neat economic game. It has a lot of things that I find very fun, but the way that it comes together doesn't quite work for me. It feels a little bit too fiddly for how easygoing of a game it is. If it's going to be that fiddly and have that many rules, I want it to be a little bit tighter and make that fiddliness feel like every inch that I gain from clever play really is worth it. So it's a 6. It's competent. It's fine. It's Chris time. Next up, Sushi Go Spin Some for Dim Sum. I give a 7, a seal of approval, because I am really charmed by this game. Yes, is it gimmicky? Yes. Is it perfect? Not really. It has a few flaws here and there, especially too many scoring cards, but it's a lot of fun. Plays well, I think, at any of the player counts. And it's just charming and light and easygoing. Next up, Sail from All Play 7.5, a 2-player trick-taking game, cooperative, and I think that this formula works really well. The highlight for me is that passing that one card back and forth and kind of looking at your co-player, your other opponent, and being like, I think I smell what you're stepping in, and then trying to play those tricks out. Very good. And Chomp, also from them, is 7.5. This is, I really am charmed by this game, and I think as I play it a little bit more, it might even go up. It's just a fun little spatial puzzle. Dinosaurs! Cool, easygoing game. I enjoy it. So that's been my week.
Hey there everybody, it's Mike DeLisio, and this week I reviewed 2 cooperative games. First up is Skoventyr. I gave this an 8 out of 10. It is a really clever, thinky, puzzle-type cooperative game where you are acting as the spirits of the forest, moving amongst cards that have trees on them, and you're trying to escape the devil. This is all based off of Danish folklore. I actually have a playthrough on it from my Delisio Factor show if you wanted to see how it played, but a really, really solid game, 8 out of 10. And then I reviewed Disney Animated, which is a game where you are playing animators in the Disney studios, and I actually really appreciated that approach to the theme material. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10, an easy recommendation. It does a lot of things right. It has a beautiful look, and the components generally are nice. I had one issue with the player boards that I mentioned in the review, and I felt like maybe the game arc was a little anticlimactic at times, but that were really the things that brought it down a little bit, but still an easy recommend, and it's 7.5 out of 10 for Disney Animated. All right, well that's going to do it for me this week. This is Mike DeLisio. Let's keep it moving.
This week I took a look at Everdell Farshore. I came in at an 8.0 on this one. Long story short, if you like Everdell, you're going to like Everdell Farshore. I do think it tightened up a couple things and streamlined it, especially with the cards, the companion cards. I really like the aspect of being able to use the anchor in order to play a card of the same type. I think that kind of just streamlined it, for lack of a better word. So I think that in my personal collection, I will pull this one out if I just want an Everdell experience without adding expansions. But I'm also happy to have those Everdell expansions in my collection as well for when I want that varying gameplay. So for me, Everdell Farshore does stand on its own against Everdell, but it's also pretty much the same game. 8.0. Let's keep going.
Okay, so my rating of Sail, the two-player trick-taking game, I found it to be very interesting, a nice back and forth, some interesting decisions in it. I give that a 7 out of 10. Also, I reviewed Silicon Valley. I enjoyed this one. I thought it was a fun, interesting, kind of basic Euro-style game with a cool modern theme. It has some issues to it, but I did enjoy it, a 7 out of 10. Sushi Go Spin Some for Dim Sum. This one, unfortunately, I did not enjoy. I give it a 5 out of 10. It had a lot of problems for me, especially when compared to Sushi Go, its original game. It just wasn't kind of my jam, I think, or my dim sum, I suppose. There's no sushi in the game, but that doesn't affect my rating. So anyhow, then I did Chomp, which I really enjoyed. This kind of, it's a little bit like point salad, where you're flipping cards over, but you're building this little dinosaur area. Carnivores are eating the herbivores. Really like this one a lot, 8.5. And I also really liked Robot Quest Arena. This is just a deck building game where you're moving robots around, shooting up stuff. So much fun. Oh, and that's another 8.5 for me. I just had so much fun with that one. I then reviewed 13 other games. I did 7 kid games, rapid kid game reviews, and 6 rapid regular game reviews. And so you can see the ratings for all those in each of those videos. But here's the thing, folks. If you want to, we have another channel called Dice Tower Encore, where each of these videos are then split up and put in there. So you have short 1 to 2 minute reviews of games. And that way, if you just want to look for one game in particular, you're able to find it. And that channel will have 1 or 2 videos at most a day. So it's an easy one to subscribe to. We also took a look, me and Chris took a look at the most checked out games at Dice Tower East. We played some party games live. We did Board Game Smorgasbord. We did our crowd surfing and all our different live shows that went on over the past week. Speaking of that, we have a lot of live shows coming up for you today and the rest of this week in our Summer Spectacular. So join us for that starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. I'll see you then. Until then, you've been watching Tom Vassell and the rest of the gang, the amazing gang here at the Dice Tower on Week in Review.